My favourite album was You Call That Classical. It was a very interesting statement of the Nachos style. I think it was if you know how you have many bands and they sort of go through their careers with, you know, like a sort of set sort of genre that they're sticking to. This was sort of the breakaway album, if you will. It sort of opened the door to all the other interesting albums they produced. I think it's also when James most came to the band most prominent as well. I was talking to James, I remember 3 or 5 years ago, and he had said, "Man, I've just listened to this Beethoven. What the fuck was he going on about, mate?" I said, "Well, James, you know, people think he's a genius. He's very renowned, very famous. Some, you know, obviously famous for a reason." And he just said, "Fuck that." He said, "I'll make my own goddamn album." And that's where it all began, I think. With that was sort of the turning point, if you will.
You just look at him and you think, you're going to make people happy. You just go to other ends to just make people laugh. That's good. But dear God, that boy can drink. It's an issue. It's an issue. And raise the dead. What's with that? I give up. But good on him. He's done good things.
He's got a lot of energy. He's got a lot of enthusiasm for what he does. Yeah, sometimes his personality can be a bit all over the place, but you know, you wouldn't have anyone else by your side when you're up there on the stage. I know I wouldn't. I mean, we've had some amazingly energetic stuff, and we've been together for a long time, and he's a hell of a guy, I guess.
I think James Rennison was a bit of a fucking poofter in his day, but he's turned into quite a nice lad, really.
You know, me having been in that big hit band that I was in, I just thought they were a bunch of cocksuckers, especially Rennison the faggot. But I got to know him. We broke into this homeless shelter one night and stole all the users' syringes, and that was a night in itself. It's another documentary altogether. But I remember having a connection with Rennison that night and just thinking, man, this guy's funky. This guy's seriously funky. And just his passion for life, and sure, he was a bit up and down, but he was always there in his Hawaiian shirts, ready to high five, ready to be encouraging to others, even though if he might have been putting himself down, he was always being nice to someone else. And maybe at times he was a little misunderstood, but I think overall the prevailing quality of James Rennison was just that he was a nice guy. And I guess I wish I'd spent more time with him before he fucked that elephant, because it was fucked. Like, I know I said it was alright, but that was track 1 of going solo. He fucked a whole zoo. He fucked a zoo. He fucked a zookeeper. He fucked a fucking penguin and a bird. You can't fuck a bird. Why the fuck did he fuck that bird? And I don't know why he did it on going solo either. He had so many good ideas. I remember talking to him one night and him saying, man, I want to get all this shit down. And he had an orchestra lined up. He had all these DJs lined up. He had this African rhythm section. And then he's like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to fuck a zoo instead. Why didn't he do that on Rape? Why the fuck did he... Oh, Rape. Rape.
My favourite memory with James was busting into a primary school at night to try to steal some of the computers, and you know, we didn't get any computers, but it was an experience. It was an experience that mattered. Character building. I went to jail for a while.
Just hanging around with him, like, you knew straight away he was definitely the leader of the band, and I think his charisma, his caring nature, and his horns really aided in the fact that he was the leader of the band, and you know, you wouldn't mess with him, but also you wanted to hang around with this guy because he was a party in a person. The funky vibes, the phone calls saying, hey man, how's it going, do you want to swing by mine? And you know, the consistency in funk, the inconsistency in moods, but all for the good, because he was such an interesting guy. You never knew what to expect with this guy. Yeah, I think, you know, I really learned a lot from James Rennison. I've learnt to just keep the party vibe flowing. And yeah.
He's done 3 things for the band. He's made it what it is today. He's brought it there what it is today. And he's made it what it is today. And you know, just really all the things he's done for the band and himself, you know, hasn't let himself down. Yeah, just bloody brilliant.
What's it like to be around James Rennison?
Oh, you know, it's tough sometimes. It gets emotional, definitely, you know, in the dark periods. But really just the exciting energy, you know, the vibes. It's all about that. And you know, that keeps on going, firing away.
He was a good man, and I think we can all agree, if he wasn't here, the world would be a much less sexist place to live in, but also a bad one.
I guess Vince and Troy are alright. I mean, Vince has the blonde hair like James, but he's just lacking that. I don't know. You can't put a word for it, but he's just not James Rennison. And Troy could be James Rennison, but just like Vince, he's not James Rennison. That James Rennison, that's the guy.
We've done it all. I mean, I don't know any other band that's won 19 Grammys, an Emmy, and a Golden Globe. Played with Jerry Seinfeld on consecutive occasions, and who's lived to tell the tale. So I think if we just keep doing what we're doing, we may come out with a new acoustic project, but I don't want to give too much away. And as long as James just stays away from women in general, because there was a bad phase there when he was, yeah, well, I won't go into that because the lawsuits are still pending. But anyway, we just need to keep it real, just follow what's in the heart.
So now where is it to for Nachos in 2011? Well, we have some recordings with me and Troy and James left over that we did inside of James's bungalow. The bungalow. There was a time where it was just me, Troy and James just sat there and we just experienced the man himself. I mean, you all know him on a level of watching him out there doing his thing. But to be in that intimate moment, you can really see how genuine of a guy he is, how fantastic he is to be around, how funny he is. Just what a great guy he actually is. Like, some of the best times I've had is around with James Rennison. He's such a great guy, and I mean, I don't want to stop being his friend. Hell no, I wouldn't trade it up for anything. Me and Troy are talking to producers at the moment, looking to get the bungalow sessions out there, is what we're going to call it, with the recordings of James. Yeah, I think he would have liked that.